NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. So the action is underway. We'll take you out now to our featured golfer here at number 1. Frank, you've been there so many times. Really nothing like the first tee of a brand new championship.
The thought of the unknown. The beauty of sport, you and the golf course. Doesn't get any better, Rich.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. 160-yard shot.
Rich, these winds haven't subsided at all today. It's certainly a tough test out there right now for these players.
They get your attention, don't they, as a player?
They have club selection right now, vital.
You put the ball back in your stance just a little bit?
If you're going to hit it down.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? These putts keep the round together.
Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Here at the 231-yard par 3 second, Frank, pretty good hole.
It certainly is, Rich. The carry on the right side's a little shorter, but if you're going to take it down the left side, you've got to fly that ball at least another 20 yards.
Frank, I think that's going in the bunker.
Looks like it.
Somehow that managed to miss the bunker, Frank.
Yeah, that looked like it was sand for sure.
Long putt here. This will require a good touch. That was not a very good read right there. She'll be happy with par here. One under early in the round. Par 4 third here at Bay Hill. This is a hole where you do not want to miss left. 434 yards and plenty of water.
Don't look left, don't hit it left, don't play left, don't go left.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Second shot here at the third.
One of the narrowest greens at Bay Hill. Water, as you can see on that left side. So for the faint of heart, you're going to miss, if anything, to that right side. And that's exactly where they put a little bunker. So be very straight on the second.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. This from about 10 feet. I don't know if that was a misread or what, Frank, but that one hurts.
Yeah, she's certainly going to have to pick up her socks after that.
Settles in over the putt. So that was a medium-length putt. Speed was right on track, but the read wasn't where it needed to be. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. So with that, the score is now at even par. We have already begun. Let's pick up with the action at hole number 4. Early in the round and playing reasonably well. Nothing great, but has certainly not given a whole lot away.
Yeah, and actually a good position to really springboard the round from here.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
She's ended up on the fairway and with such a good lie. So many more options available now. Frank, this is still a mind blower to me. Tiger won the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill 4 times in a row from 2000 to 2003. You played the game at the highest level. How hard is that?
It's almost unimaginable to Rich because, Bay Hill changes each and every year when they have the tournament. But there was always also the look of resignation of the other players. There's never really been a golf course that really suits Tiger Woods any better. He hits the ball a long way. He hits it high. Greens are firm and fast. It's just built for him. And not only has he won it 4 times in a row, it's 8 total now.
Frank, tricky little third shot here at the par 5 fourth.
Especially if you don't have a full number, because there's just that little mound in the middle of the green. If you get on the wrong side of that, instantly you can be 30, 40 feet away. So check where the flag is. Is it front? Is it back? And then try and land it in that section.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. 5th hole at Bay Hill. Frank, this is a chance to employ some course management as opposed to maybe brute strength. What do you think?
Yeah, rather soft par 4. No water here, but bunker down the left and bunker down the right. Pinches into that corner. So if you're a little wayward, an iron here is not a bad idea.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first and foremost because you can't guarantee a perfect strike out of the long grass. So therefore you have to look around the greens, maybe short, to the right, to the left, and realize what's involved. And also just give yourself a slightly bigger target. All things pointed to a good week. Birdie there, very important right now.
Playing some good golf. Frank, the par 5/6 looks like an enormous carry over the water. What if you're not one of the bigger hitters?
Well, then you've really got to aim at those 2 bunkers, right in between them on the right side, Rich. It becomes very much a plotter hole because even the layup becomes important. This par 5, you've then got to attack it with a wedge. Oh, I liked that. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. crucial eagle attempt on the way. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. This can be a cruel game at times. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Don't leave it short. Wow. And getting ready for the putt. With authority, count it as a par and 2 under. Well, after that beast of a par 5, Frank, it is time to finesse one up on the green here at the par 3-7, just a little under 200 yards.
There's a big mound in the middle of this green. Flags above it, and then you've got to be really precise. If it's short of it, you can use that mound as a backstop. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
In the thick stuff.
Thick, there's brittle out there.
Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the whole location from here. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Shouldn't be a problem here. That's 2 under par, playing well. Now at the 8th, and Frank, this really is a clever design, fun hole to play.
Very pretty hole. That bunker down the left, just over 300 yards. Ideally, you just work it off that bunker.
The second shot now to the par 4. Good looking shot right here. That's another green hit in regulation, and that has been the story all day, just wearing out the center of that club face. 18 feet from the bottom of the cup.
Oh, now that is going to hurt.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. Finishing up here on the front side at Bay Hill with a lengthy par 4. What's the key, Frank?
Well, the hole's relatively flat, but the rough on the right comes into play. If you can carry that ball 300 yards, then just take it in over the bunker.
That was just a beautiful drive and hit it solid and right in the middle. Nice position, short grass, Second shot. Headed for the bunker, I think. Well, we've seen this before today, in the bunker.
And an awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? This one just requires a little bit of focus. Tough break.
It went from bad to worse, and right now, horrible.
What do they say, Frank? Golf spelled backwards is
Flog.
flog. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have?
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. This is a 28-footer. Starting the back nine on a sour note here with a drop shot, bogey at the 10th. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. So with that, the score is now at even par. Frank, 440-yard par 4 11th. You see that number on the card, you think driver. Maybe not? Why?
Yeah, it's imperative you hit the fairway here, Rich. Water obviously in play left, 2 bunkers on the right. This is a second shot hole.
Oh, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. So in the first cut here, it could be worse. It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side.
I mean, this skill and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Ooh, that hurts. Didn't go in, Frank, but not a bad effort. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That's costly right there.
Painful.
This would be one drop shot for her, if she makes it. One over for the day. Frank, 574-yard par 5. Scoring opportunity here?
The breeze behind, once again, a reachable par 5. The hardest thing about this hole really is the green. It's raised up a little bit, slopes off on either side.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Second shot.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
Yeah, we've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce some players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. Par 4 13, Frank, how do you hit this approach shot?
Rich, it's the first par 4 at Bay Hill where the water is actually on the right of the green, and that has to be taken into consideration. Just a little errant shot, and then you're going to be wet. So a little left of the flag, that's where you want to be.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Frank going for 2 in a row now. Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Another challenging par 3 here at Bay Hill. It's the 14th, 216 yards, Frank.
It plays uphill, prevailing breeze too, into your face, so normally much longer than its yardage.
Good chance at one. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Facing 29 feet. Kind of a tricky read. Settles in over the putt. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. At the 15th hole now at Bay Hill, this is a massive dogleg, Frank.
Yeah, if you're a Bubba Watson type player and you can move the ball around, you can move it left to right, that'll certainly help the tee shot. If you're average Joe, though, just hit it down the left. Take your medicine.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, what are you looking to do with this approach shot here at 15?
Anytime the flag's on the front, Rich, it's basically green light special. When the flag starts to get pushed towards that back area of that green, it starts to get narrower and narrower and narrower. And that's where you've got to be a little careful.
That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Pretty good shot right there. These putts keep the round together. Solid par to remain 1 under. Back on the tee here at the 16th. Frank, lay it out for us. What's ahead on this hole?
Well, even though there's two bunkers, one on the left and one on the right, it's the shortest of the 4 par 5s. You can almost take those out of play and have just a mid-iron in here. But we all know what's coming up.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Nice position, short grass, second shot.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker. Lucky devil. That was going in the bunker all the way.
.28 feet from the cup. Get in the hole.
Can you believe that?
Frank, we know at Bay Hill, the finishing stretch allows a player to make some things happen. You can make up some ground. Par 5, 16th. How realistic is birdie or even eagle?
Well, this is where it all starts, and you're right on the money here, Rich. Good tee shot, you can be looking at 3 or 4. Bad tee shot, 6 or 7, and the round goes horribly wrong because you've got 17 and 18 to come.
Headed for the bunker, I think. Getting set now over the putt. Good effort and good par putt. Frank, a chance now to make an imprint here at one of the famous courses on tour at Bay Hill, the final hole. This is where Tiger has done it so many times, where Gomez holed out. What a great hole.
Well, the last hole of a great 3-hole stretch. If you've got through 16, somehow got through 17, you've still got one more hurdle.
She had a good shot off the tee, and now she has all sorts of options available. Let's see what she does here. The second shot now to the par 4. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Boy, I'm reminded of what an old caddy used to say about the great Lanny Watkins when he was on fire. You can't hide the flagstick from that man. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Frank, I thought that was in. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold. Very bold.
Lining this one up for par. Finished with a very respectable 69 for the day.
That was a great first day up there, Rich.
I really enjoyed it. We saw a lot of birdies, excellent play, and some impressive names on top of this leaderboard. Anybody's game. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Its second-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. We're at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge in Orlando, Florida, site of one of the PGA Tour's premier stops, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Always attracting a great field, and through the years it has been the scene of just some championship play from one guy in particular.
Tiger Woods has won there an incredible 8 times.
And let's go down to the first. Stepping up to the first tee for this second round. Frank, what's the mindset, do you think?
Has to be, hopefully, like yes.
Hold on here a second. She is winding up for a big one. She wants to smash this as far as she can hit it. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
This is a good-looking shot.
I mean, this skill and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position.
Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Back to the action here at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Second hole, it is a pretty demanding par 3, Frank.
Goal really is to just carry that front bunker or sneak it a little right of that and try and cheat it around. In the direction of the sand.
And it looks like it. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aimed the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Not her best effort, walks away with a bogey. Frank, now to the third hole, and where's the trouble here? That's fairly obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's one thing you don't want to remind yourself of. There's a bunker all the way down the right side. That's a good place to aim.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Second shot here at the third.
One of the narrowest greens at Bay Hill, water, as you could see on that left side. So for the faint of heart, you're going to miss, if anything, to that right side. And that's exactly where they put a little bunker. So be very straight on the second.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one. Even par, currently. Well read.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Fourth hole is the first par 5 on the golf course, Frank.
Very scoreable. 2 bunkers down the left, the first of which takes 330 yards to get it past that.
Definite birdie hole, maybe even a chance for Eagle to really jumpstart the round. Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, what's the magic of Arnold Palmer?
He just has that innate ability of making you feel like he's known you forever, whether you're a perfect stranger or someone he's known for many a year. It's an unusual quality. I wish more people had it.
Frank, I think he possesses the greatest qualities, charisma and skill. Let me say it this way. Frank, I don't think any golfer has ever possessed a combination of charisma and skill as potently as Arnold Palmer. I mean, there have been players who've won more major championships, but I don't think anybody's been so good at the game who's also been so good with the fans.
Well, I think Arnold Palmer was born before we used the phrase it. And really, he is it. And he has that innate ability to, whether it's a 4 or 5-year-old child or a grandmother or a grandfather, he defaults through all generations.
Methodically starting to climb the leaderboard now. 4 under par for the tournament with yet another birdie. Now to the fifth hole. And off the tee, Frank, how do these fairway bunkers sort of factor into your mindset as you prepare to tee off?
Well, if you watch the pros play on the Arnold Palmer Invitational, you see 2 different strategies here. Just an iron off the tee, give yourself a full shot in, or, well, if you're a longer hitter, take it over that bunker on the left.
Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee.
Has 80 yards left. Frank, these days golfers are training like high-level athletes from other sports. Rory McIlroy, for example, has been using a guy by the name of Steve McGregor, who happened to be the trainer for the New York Knicks of the NBA.
And part of his training now is high altitude. The majority of the medal holders, for example, in the Olympics, or medal winners in the Olympics, actually use high altitude training. You know, you can develop more red blood cells in a shorter period of time. But, golf, we've had so many different types of training from the athlete side. But you go back to the old days of Henry Cotton beating an old tire. Vijay Singh picked up on that. Or even the rhythm of Sam Snead. He used to count in the rhythm. It was 1, 2, 3. It was 1 at the top of the swing, 2 at impact, and 3 at the follow through. All those things are still very valid today. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Second shot.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. Settles in over the putt. Wow, almost fell within just a few inches of dropping. Clean this up with a tap. Good birdie right there, Frank.
Oh, time to get another cup of coffee. Things are heating up.
Frank, the good news as you come to the 7th after that beast of a par 5 is that it's just under 200 yards and there's no water.
Yeah, it's not as long as the 2nd, but it's just as demanding. Very narrow entry into this green.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. That's a good shot right there, about 15 feet away, and a good look at birdie.
It's that sneaky distance.
You can't leave it short, Frank.
Oh, and especially right in the middle.
Just a couple of feet. Doesn't dig into the lead with that par, but Frank, sometimes, and you know this as well as anyone, you just have to kind of maintain your footing out there. Frank, as you step to the tee here at the 8th, what are you seeing?
Another hole that suits the long hitter, Rich. That bunker just over 300 yards. The further you get down there, the shorter club you have in over the water.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it. Inexcusable.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that and keep that club moving. That grass is going to that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
Unfortunately, that ball is wet. Not what you wanted to hear, but this is the 5th shot after the ball went into the water. Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a master class in short game.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Too bad. 2 drop shots right there with a double bogey. Rounding out the front 9 here at Bay Hill, 474-yard par 4. Frank, you've played this hole before. Where are you lining up when you step onto the tee here?
There's an out of bounds all the way down the left side that you have to be cognizant of. But that bunker, 290 yards carries it. And yet again, another hole that favors the long hitter.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. All right, partner, break down this approach shot here at the par 4 9th.
What you're looking at is one of the biggest greens on the golf course, Rich, so it gives you a chance to be perhaps a little more aggressive than what you would normally think on a par 4 that's just a little under 500 yards.
This could be a good one. Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Moves into the top 10 with that birdie. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the hole location from here. Frank, I think that's going in the bunker.
Looks like it.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face. So it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Shouldn't be a problem here. Not her best effort, walks away with a bogey. Now to the 11th with water left, bunkers on the right. Frank, what's the key here?
Well, too often people just look at the scorecard and they go, well, it's over 400 yards, I have to hit driver. You don't have to hit driver at 11. Something in the fairway, just short.
Let's see what she's got here. She is loading up for the big one.
climb.
There are a number of really good and important grow the game initiatives out there. One of those is the First Tee program, and that allows youngsters who otherwise might not have an opportunity, the chance to put a golf club in their hands, allows them the chance to pick up this game and learn some of the core values that come along with it. It's about much more than making a score. It's about integrity. It is about responsibility, values like that. And this game is just so good in instilling those kind of characteristics in young people. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
So a tester from 4 feet.
That's the cruelest thing about this game, Rich. I mean, it's another shot.
Not going very well for her at this point. This is for bogey. Frank, it has been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey. Frank, 574-yard par 5. Scoring opportunity here?
The breeze behind, once again, a reachable par 5. The hardest thing about this hole really is the green. It's raised up a little bit, slopes off on either side.
Wow, I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball. That, Frank, is position A.
Wouldn't you like to have that in your bag every day?
Love it. Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here.
That's an absolute beauty.
So after the layup, Frank, here at the par 5 12th, pitch shot here, try to make birdie.
Yeah, just use the contours of this green. You can actually get to this flag a lot of different ways. Using one of the mounds, there's nothing wrong with that.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Par 4 13th, Frank, you've played it on a number of occasions. How do you attack this hole?
Really one of the shortest on the golf course, but this is a fool's paradise here. There's a lot of things that can go wrong.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Setting up for an approach shot here. Fraction off the center and headed to the right. Beautiful approach shot there and a good chance to take advantage. Getting set now over the putt.
A few more birdies like that, Rich, you never know, just might sneak place on the podium.
In the top 10 right now. Frank, now to the 14th of par 3, and how difficult is this hole?
Once again, very narrow entry into the green, so ideally you want to fly the ball a little higher than normal, make it soft, make it land a little softer.
should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that. Really, I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Oh, what an incredible shot. Fourteenth hole, Frank, more than 200 yards, par 3. This is no picnic.
No, it plays a little longer than that too, slightly uphill. You've got to carry the ball onto the front of the screen. It will not run up.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Now the approach shot, par 4, 15th hole. Frank, break it down.
Green narrows up the further back you go, so the most generous place to land the ball is in the front half of this green. It's also the flattest section of the green.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Only thing that one was missing was the postage stamp, Frank.
Oh, look at that. Airmailed that green. I mean, what a bad decision.
Third shot, looking for a good one.
Not a problem there, Rich.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Struggling a bit with the flat stick and a drop shot here at the 15th hole. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. A drop shot. Back on the tee here at the 16th. It's a par 5. Bunkers, water all along this hole. Doesn't look to be a gimme par 5.
Now, you've got to have your wits about you. If you just look at the yardage, you'll think it's the easiest par 5 on the golf course. And then, before you know it, it's got you.
Good contact, good result. Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Now the second shot to the par 5. Headed for the bunker? Well, we've seen this before today, in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe, what, the greatest bunker player of all time? Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Frank, all of a sudden, another player to factor in on this leaderboard.
Yeah, and things are starting to tighten up right now. Going to see where the next move comes from.
Good-looking shot right here.
That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Frank, a little chip shot here from the fringe. Now, a lot of options. I've seen some players hit 6-iron. Others will shut down like a sand wedge.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought. Some people just try and perfect like one club. But really, the best chippers chip with a variety of clubs.
So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. You know, Tiger was born on the same day as LeBron James, December 30th. And he's had his share of slam dunks, especially on the 18th hole here at Bay Hill.
Yeah, he's just a perfect fit for the golf course. You'd think every now and again he fears left, but he doesn't fear left at Bay Hill. We've seen his best golf over the years, over the last 15 or so years. To win there 8 times, nobody's come close to that. He's one of the great players in the world. He's won it twice.
Second shot, good look at the green. Appears to be tracking well. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Settles in over the putt. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Oh man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Welcome to the King's Palace. This is Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for EA Sports. Today, we're here at Arnold Palmer's Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Frank, it's right in the heart of Orlando, Florida. You've played this course before. What do you need to look out for?
Ideally, you've got to hit the ball with a high, soft landing flight, which is not a shot that most amateurs have in their bag. But Florida courses, they differ from a lot of the other courses within North America. And what they lack in change of elevation, they make up in difficulty by the use of water and very firm greens.
It is a par 72 with a tough finishing stretch. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, why are great rivalries so important? Why do we love them?
I think because people like to sit on one side of the fence. You're either for or against a great player. And I think we see that today with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. There's the McIlroy fans that think his future is so bright. There's the Woods fans that still want him to pass Jack Nicklaus's record. That's the beauty. You've got to have an opinion, and you have to have a player.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. And with that birdie, moves to third place. Back to the second hole here at Bay Hill. Frank, long par 3.
And that green slopes so much from right to left, so you can actually use the contours of the green here. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance.
Second shot.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. In for par. Now at the par 4 third, Frank, this is a great golf hole.
It certainly is. Remember, the brain doesn't register don'ts. So aim right. There's a bunker down there. Keep focusing on where you want it to go, not in the other direction.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
Frank, this is one of my favorite shots at Bay Hill, the second at number 3.
It's such a cool-looking hole,
It
Rich.
is.
That water, it just pops out there on the left side. It scares the living daylights out of you. But if you can hit an aggressive shot there, often that breeze is coming off the left, and just keep it in the middle of the green. Those ridges often kick that ball towards the hole.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Just 5 feet left.
Comfortably knocks it in.
.561 par 5 fourth. Frank, a chance to make 4 and maybe even an eagle 3.
Yeah, that green's just raised a little bit. So if you had a good drive in there and you're going with a slightly shorter club, big advantage.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Nice position, short grass, second shot. And her golf ball lands in that first cut. Still can get a club on it, and let's see what she does from there. Just in the first cut of rough, not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. So a longer putt coming up next, about 30 feet away. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. That's a solid par putt. Frank, what's the play here off the tee? Is it driver, or do you play it safe with an iron?
A lot of the times that's predicated by the wind, Rich. If you've got a trailing breeze, driver is very much in play. Otherwise, just poke a little iron down the right side.
No fairway here. This one in that rough. 80 yards to the flagstick, Frank. Frank, there's a real art to putting a good 72-hole score in the book, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. You know, you can have a flash of brilliance, make 5 or 6 birdies. It can be offset by doubles and quadruple bogeys. And in the end, it's the end. What did you do? The plus and the minuses. And that's why all our biggest championships have, and of recent, been stroke play.
Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
So just a formality here. Good roll. Now to the fifth hole. And off the tee, Frank, how do these fairway bunkers sort of factor into your mindset as you prepare to tee off?
Well, if you watch the pros play on the Arnold Palmer Invitational, you see 2 different strategies here. Just an iron off the tee, give yourself a full shot in, or, well, if you're a longer hitter, take it over that bunker on the left.
Let's see what she's got here. She is loading up for the big one. Wow, I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball.
Long just meant longer.
Wow, Frank, that was an absolute bomb right there.
Yeah, what's longer than long? Because we just saw it.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
That one is in the bunker. Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The 2 greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron, that's right, a 3-iron, on a short bunker shot from a green side bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sand wedge. Amazing. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Solid play, heart of the green. Getting set now over the putt. Not her best effort, walks away with a bogey. Well, after that beast of a par 5 with all the water, take a sigh of relief and you come to the par 3 7th.
It still takes a good tee shot here, though, Rich. Narrow entry, green's 30 yards deep. You still really got to focus on hitting a good shot here. In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. Somehow that managed to miss the bunker, Frank.
Yeah, that looked like it was sand for sure.
These putts keep the round together. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
She has this for par.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Frank, as you step to the tee here at the 8th, what are you seeing?
Another hole that suits the long hitter, Rich. That bunker just over 300 yards. The further you get down there, the shorter club you have in over the water. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. It's that sneaky distance.
Can't make it, Frank, if you don't hit it.
Hubert Green once said, 99% of putts left short don't go in. I don't know what happened to the other 1%, but...
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Continuing to putt with confidence. Rounding out the front 9 here at Bay Hill, 474-yard par 4. Frank, you've played this hole before. Where are you lining up when you step onto the tee here?
There's an out of bounds all the way down the left side that you have to be cognizant of. But that bunker, 290 yards carries it. And yet again, another hole that favors the long hitter.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Get down. Lay down. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par. Not a problem there, Rich.
And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
More than a bonus on the scorecard, that.
Get those ice blue skies. How do you get off to a good start here on this second 9?
Well, really, you've got to pick a target here. You don't just blaze away at the 10th. The hole bends to the right. If you can get it over that bunker, you've got just a short iron, even a wedge in here.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Pretty good result right there, considering
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
this one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green. Good looking shot right here. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Headed in the right direction with that birdie.
Just sneaks into the top 10. It's a good move this week.
Another par 4 here, the 11th. It's just under 440 yards. This time, there's water looming left and then bunkers on the right-hand side. It's a pretty good challenge, Frank.
This hole's very similar to the third hole on the front side. 2 bunkers down the right side. Just got to keep it a little left. You don't have to hit driver here.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Really good playoff to tee at least 300 yards and in the fairway.
Rich, it's a different challenge today. The weather is so day-to-day out here, and when you get a breeze like this that's kicking up, you really have to sort of change your approach to playing these holes.
It looks nice out there, the blue skies, plenty of high sunshine, but it's a challenge because those winds have really freshened up. Early part of this second 9 and a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie.
Really. This is that awkward length.
Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Good roll. Solid. That's a par. Frank, 574-yard par 5. Scoring opportunity here?
The breeze behind, once again, a reachable par 5. The hardest thing about this hole really is the green. It's raised up a little bit, slopes off on either side. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
Ooh, looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
So after the layup, Frank, here at the par 5 12th, pitch shot here, try to make birdie.
Yeah, just use the contours of this green. You can actually get to this flag a lot of different ways. Using one of the mounds, there's nothing wrong with that.
Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that third shot.
You're just battling to make par. And this is going to be difficult.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Settles in over the putt. Cleans that up in the hole. Par 4 13th, Frank, you've played it on a number of occasions. How do you attack this hole?
Really one of the shortest on the golf course, but this is a fool's paradise here. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Oh, that's fine. That's an absolute beauty.
Par 4 13th, Frank, how do you hit this approach shot?
Rich, it's the first par 4 at Bay Hill where the water is actually on the right of the green, and that has to be taken into consideration. Just a little errant shot, and then you're going to be wet. So a little left of the flag, that's where you want to be.
This is a good-looking shot. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. This will be a 14-foot putt here.
Great sense of speed in that. You know you can make those, but that went right in the middle.
Frank, now to the 14th of par 3, and how difficult is this hole?
Once again, very narrow entry into the green, so ideally you want to fly the ball a little higher than normal, make it soft, make it land a little softer.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Has this putt for birdie. Frank, that looked good to me. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Now in the top 5 after that par. Frank, deep in the round at the 15th, you need to maybe make something happen. How difficult is that with such a huge dogleg here?
Once again, make sure you know the distance to carry the bunker or run out. You got to play to your strength.
I love this. She is winding up, just wants to tear the cover off this golf ball. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, what are you looking to do with this approach shot here at 15?
Anytime the flag's on the front, Rich, it's basically green light special. When the flag starts to get pushed towards that back area of that green, it starts to get narrower and narrower and narrower. And that's where you've got to be a little careful.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. It's a nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time. Third place now.
Back on the tee here at the 16th. Frank, lay it out for us. What's ahead on this hole?
Well, even though there's 2 bunkers, one on the left and one on the right, it's the shortest of the 4 par 5s. You can almost take those out of play and have just a mid-iron in here. But we all know what's coming up.
But this one has a chance to be really good. Good contact, good result. Well, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
We are dead on 200 yards away.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
It's at sneaky distance.
How'd you like that one right there?
Eagle, out of nowhere.
And into third place. Frank, par 317. Daunting shot. What are you thinking as you step onto this tee?
Just make 3. 2 is a huge bonus. Take 3 in a heartbeat.
Second shot. Good look at the green.
Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one's safely on.
Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
So just a formality here. Frank, at this stage of the championship, you cannot afford bogeys.
That's right. Now there's an even bigger gap between where they stand and the top of the leaderboard.
Frank, the scene of so much drama through the years, the 18th here at Bay Hill. What's the key?
The fairway is rather generous, but once again it pinches in around 320, 330 yards. You've got to be cognizant of that. And, of course, that green shapes to the right. So good tee shot makes that second shot a little bit easier.
Final drive of the day, and makes it a good one in the fairway.
Second shot.
On the green with about 30 feet to go. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. Good third round, Frank, and a good spot heading to the final 18.
Yeah, to be in the top 5 right now, the caliber of this field, know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to, this moment right now.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Welcome to the King's Palace, Arnold Palmer's Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Frank, right in the heart of Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, for so long it has been the showcase for Florida golf. Of course, the King's Palace, and it has produced many a great champion over the years.
Frank, nice way to start. It isn't exactly a gentle opening hole, but it's not a grinder either.
Biggest concern for the players are the two bunkers down the right side at the corner of that dogleg. They're not a guaranteed bogey, but certainly the fairway a little left is preferred.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Nice position, short grass, second shot.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That will be a great look at birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. She'll be happy with par here. Always take that. Good par putt right there. Back to the action here at the second and a par 3. Frank, it's 231 yards. What are we looking at?
Well, somehow if you can hit it sky high, that's the best shot to hit in there. This green sometimes gets brick hard, and of course it all slopes to the left.
Too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on. Really. This is that awkward length. That's the cruelest thing about this game, Rich. I mean, it's just now it's another shot.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. That's the idea. Just knock it in. Now to the par 4 third, 434 yards and plenty of trouble on that left side.
One of the hardest tee shots on the front side. Water very much in play down the left. That's fine.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Second from an excellent lie. Oh, this could be good. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
And getting ready for the putt. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. 561-yard par 5 fourth. Frank, a chance to make 4 and maybe even an eagle 3.
Yeah, that green's just raised a little bit, so if you had a good drive in there and you're going with a slightly shorter club, big advantage.
Wow, I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball. That, Frank, is position A.
Wouldn't you like to have that in your bag every day?
Love it. Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal. So you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
Birdie try up next. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Frank, at the fourth, we pulled the hammer out. Here, maybe it's a scalpel?
Well, it just depends. A little trailing breeze. A drive is not always a bad play here. 367 yards to the front. There's a little kick forward. So, wind behind your back, almost worth a go.
Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Not too bad, about 25 feet away. Well, a fine birdie chance for her right now. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
Just a couple of feet. That is a solid par putt. Frank, what's the thinking here as you step to the tee at the signature hole, the long par 5, 6th hole?
Well, the longer hitters can go at that big pine tree. Then it's reachable in two. Now, if you're a little shorter, then you've got to start to sort of aim at the middle of those two bunkers.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Getting set now over the putt. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Good putt. Breathing a sigh of relief. You made it through the par 5 without getting wet, and now you're at this par 3 7th, Frank.
You've got to guarantee a carry at least 7 or 8 yards onto this green, because that's where that bunker is on that right. It cuts in 7 yards.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole, this for birdie.
Yeah, it's that sneaky distance.
So that was a medium length putt. Speed was right on track, but the read wasn't where it needed to be. Not going to win it with pars, are you?
That's for sure. This field too good, too talented, and making too many birdies.
Now at the 8th, and Frank, this really is a clever design, fun hole to play.
Very pretty hole. That bunker down the left, just over 300 yards. Ideally, you just work it off that bunker.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, as we look at the approach shot here at the 8th, no doubt a player would be happy to walk out of here with a par.
Oh, no doubt about that at all. Really, you want to judge your second shot to land somewhere in the middle of this green. Don't really want to be messing with the front. If you have a little look, you'll see why.
Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left. And he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough was fairly thick. Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did. Another good swing, another good approach shot.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Final hole now of the front side. It's a 474-yard par 4. And Frank, you've played it before. What works best here?
Well, ideally a nice little draw off the tee. But the hole's quite weird because the tee shot shapes to the left, and yet the green goes the other way.
Hold on here a second. She is winding up for a big one. As far as she can hit it. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Get down, lay down. That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop. Rich, with a lie like that on the rough, you're going to get too much grass between club face and ball. You're going to have to adjust for that and at least take a club or two more.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
These putts keep the round together.
You'd like that one again.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Not going very well for her at this point. This is for bogey.
With 9 holes to go, bogeys become so much more expensive.
Get those ice blue skies. How do you get off to a good start here on this second 9?
Well, really, you've got to pick a target here. You don't just blaze away at the 10th. The hole bends to the right. If you can get it over that bunker, you've got just a short iron, even a wedge in here.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Frank, through the years we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport. What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? Can I still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for a day, but they don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons.
Now, that's a good par there, Rich.
Now to the 11th with water left, bunkers on the right. Frank, what's the key here?
Well, too often people just look at the scorecard and they go, well, it's over 400 yards, I have to hit driver. You don't have to hit driver at 11. Something in the fairway just short of that second bunker. And it sits up, 6 or a 7 iron.
Frank, another good hole, the par 4 11th, looking at the second shot now.
Yeah, the second shot has a similar look to the second shot at the third hole at Bay Hill. Water all down the left-hand side, that has to be respected. And a green, really, where you've got to favour the right side, or at least right of middle.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Good effort and good par putt. Frank, now we're at the 574-yard, par 5 12th. How critical are the par 5s if you're trying to put a score on the board here at Bay Hill?
They're crucial, Rich, because the par 4s are very, very difficult. So anytime you get a par 5, you've really got to take advantage of it. What a great shot. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle.
second shot.
So after the layup, Frank, here at the par 5 12th, pitch shot here, try to make birdie.
Yeah, just use the contours of this green. You can actually get to this flag a lot of different ways. Using one of the mounds, there's nothing wrong with that.
Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. And getting ready for the putt. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
Clean this up with a tap. That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. Frank, the par 4 13th, relatively short, but not necessarily easy.
Yeah, stringent tee shot. A lot of people are tempted to take a bigger club off the tee. 300 yards runs out of the fairway, but really, what does that give you in?
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Par 4 13, Frank, how do you hit this approach shot?
Rich, it's the first par 4 at Bay Hill where the water is actually on the right of the green, and that has to be taken into consideration. Just a little errant shot, and then you're going to be wet. So a little left of the flag, that's where you want to be.
This is a good-looking shot. That is classy.
They had a chance of going in.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, I like a good par 3 over 200 yards, requiring that one good, clean strike. And here's a good case in point, 216 yards, all you want.
Yeah, bunk it at the back, bunk it to the left side, a little collection area to the right. So really, in the end, you've got one choice. That's hit your best.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Enjoying that trio at the top.
We're here at the 15th now, and a big dogleg right on this one. Frank, what's the best route to take to shoot the low number?
You've got to look at that run out down the left side, which is about 320 yards. If you can stay short of that, then that gives you a perfect shot into this green. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Now the approach shot, par par 4, 15th hole. Frank, break it down.
Green narrows up the further back you go, so the most generous place to land the ball is in the front half of this green. It's also the flattest section of the green.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is gone.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
That is some good work right there. Birdie and one shot closer to the lead. Back on the tee here at the 16th. It's a par 5. Bunkers, water all along this hole. Doesn't look to be a gimme par 5.
Now, you've got to have your wits about you. If you just look at the yardage, you'll think it's the easiest par 5 on the golf course. And then, before you know it, it's got you. Oh, that's fine.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Second from an excellent lie. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. On the green, sure, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Just had a bit of a spasm right there. I don't know how else to explain it. You're on the green, and now you're on the fringe? This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Oh, good roll, good putt.
Frank, par 3 17th here at Bay Hill. How difficult is this hole?
This one takes your best tee shot, Rich. Otherwise, you're just looking at 4 or 5.
Headed for the bunker? Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Solid play, heart of the green. Just a couple of feet. That is a solid par putt. Frank, how'd you like to be a rookie? You're going up against, at the time, the greatest player in the game, the great white shark, Greg Norman, and you hole a 7-iron to win a tournament?
Well, all you had to do was look at the expression on Norman's face as that ball landed and went in.
What did he hit there?
7-iron.
Good contact, good result. She really hit that tee ball nicely. It is in perfect position, and now she'll have a chance to capitalize. Superb position, right in the fairway, and 200 yards to the flagstick. Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Okay, no problem with that one. Frank, we did see some good golf out there today, but others really struggled.
Yeah, any competitive player wants to win. We don't doubt that, but we know you're not going to win them all. So it's still important for every golfer to continue to gain experience, to actually get something out of each and every tournament they play in.